Figured the troubles out. I was having issues with this video, but I think I've got it. So welcome. This is the third video, or the third episode of To Catch a Predator I've done. I know this will be the fifth video on the channel, but they split one episode into two parts. So this is part one of us being in Greenville, Ohio. So we're gonna see what Chris has in store for us.
This is one of them. Why did you come here in the first place?
Okay, we don't need to see this.
This time, Volney is...
when I can.
Hold on, back up.
Do you watch Dateline NBC?
No.
When
No,
I
you don't.
can.
Have you ever seen our stories on computer predators?
No, I haven't seen it, but I've heard about them.
We've set up a new computer sex predator operation in a new location, but this man's excuse sounds pretty old.
And what have you heard about those stories?
That people, or there's pedophilers out there, but that's not my intention.
There's pedophilers out there. Like, they're not a fucking filing cabinet. What the hell is that? Filer?
Tonight, I just wanted to have a party and have a good time.
Yeah, sure you did.
Hello? One second, I gotta change my shirt.
Okay.
2 years ago, Dateline launched an undercover investigation into online sexual predators.
Okay.
Whoa.
Could you explain yourself?
And we had no idea we were about to expose a national epidemic. Adults trolling the internet looking to meet young teens for sex.
What are you doing as a man of God, as a rabbi?
Our investigations revealed the enormity of the problem. Over the course of 3 undercover stings, we exposed
is this one
almost
3?
90 men.
Oh, okay,
Possibly
bye.
You would have had sex with a 13-year-old boy.
Our past investigations have been in major metropolitan areas. The first near New York City, the second in a suburb of Washington, D.C., and the third close to Los Angeles.
Okay. Get up. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
Could
Now.
it be that this is a crime that only happens in and around big cities? Or does it happen everywhere? Even in rural America.
America.
Tonight, our 4th investigation into internet predators. Only this time, we're going straight to the heartland. Greenville, Ohio. Population 13,000.
We're in the middle of nowhere. We're
That's a
45
small
minutes
town.
outside of Dayton, and we're 5-6 hours from Chicago.
Nestled among the cornfields and cow pastures, we found this large house, just the right size for our crew and specialty cameras.
My COVID's pretty much gone. Just some leftover runny
Frag
nose
and
and
Dell, their screen names are from
I can smell and taste things
pervertedjustice.com.
again, but
An
I
online
can feel my
watchdog
nose is
group
plugged
for the
up.
last 4 years has been catching internet sex predators and exposing them.
4:00 p.m. is Gear Jammer.
We hired the organization as consultants so we could watch them do what they normally do. Go into chat rooms and pose as 12 to 15-year-olds home alone, interested in having sex.
I'm pretty much the only one here.
So while the perverted justice decoys troll chat rooms, our crews set up 11 hidden cameras, 7 outside covering all angles of the driveway, side, and back of the house, and 4 cameras on the inside. What you're about to see happen to this man emerging from the shadows is going to repeat itself over and over again at our undercover house. He's 40-year-old Alonzo Wade. He's been chatting online about sex with a girl who said she was 15. When she says she's worried she'll get pregnant, he says, "I am fixed." He drives 104 miles.
Like,
more
that
than
makes
2
it any
hours
better.
To meet the young teen home alone. And
Fuck.
look, he's loaded down with alcohol.
Come on.
Dell, pretending to be the young girl, waves him in.
Where are you?
The fuck away from you.
All right.
Then he appears to pull down the zipper on the front of his pants. What he was planning to do next, we'll never know.
How are you tonight?
Fine.
He stops as soon as he sees me.
Now, what were you doing with your pants there when you were heading towards the door?
My zipper came down. Excuse me. I was just going to go outside and make sure everything's okay.
Well, you brought quite the selection tonight.
Yes, sir.
What do we have here?
Well, that's mine.
That's your-
Alonzo
Yeah,
claims
no
the
shit.
12-pack of beer and 2 6-packs of Mike's Hard Lemonade are all just for him.
Were you going to give any to the 15-year-old?
Oh, no. I don't do that.
And you
I
would-
got a 15-year-old daughter myself.
Well, come
I
on,
asked her
Alonzo,
what-
you brought the 12-pack and 2 6-packs
I
here to this
said,
house.
what does she like to drink? Did I say I was never what I was going to bring it? You got it in black and white that I said I'd bring it. But
And you brought it.
yes, I did.
You say that
But she also asked for it.
Alonzo says he didn't
That
want to
doesn't
drink in
make it
front of his
better.
daughter, so he came here to drink, not to have sex. But he seems to leave the door open.
It appears to be clear from this transcript that you are open to the idea of having sex with this girl.
No. Well, appeared yes. Would I? No. Or maybe. All right. Maybe.
What?
What is it, Alonzo? Yes, no, maybe so.
Maybe.
Maybe. So maybe you would have had sex with this girl.
Maybe.
What should happen to you, Alonzo?
I should go to jail.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's about to happen.
Bust him in the head with one of those bottles.
Like our most recent investigation, Perverted Justice
What the
is
fuck?
cooperating with local law enforcement, providing the Dark County, Ohio Sheriff's men with the evidence needed to make an arrest. Here in Ohio, showing up for sex with a minor after soliciting them online is a felony.
Should be a felony
After
everywhere.
deputies read Alonzo his rights,
Sir, listen to me right now. You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
he's taken in for questioning,
Could you feed a report for me?
photographed, fingerprinted, and put behind bars. Detective Mike Burns of the Dark County Sheriff's Department says he contacted Perverted Justice about doing a sting operation because he was looking for a way to combat internet predators in his area.
It was just a miracle from heaven as far as meeting our needs, because we're struggling so badly to get things going that, here it is. Here's the answers for you.
The detective and his men will conduct their
Just
stakeout
getting
from the
my
house across
chat
the street
open.
and in the mobile home behind our house. Just as they did with Alonzo, once a suspected predator goes in the house, Detective Burns will have his men move into place, ready to make the arrest.
Where are you at?
Get ready for the parade
Where
of
you
potential
at?
predators, this time here in the heartland of America.
Up next, you may be surprised who exactly does come calling: a fireman and a student at an evangelical Christian college.
Oh, of course it is.
But you walked in the door.
Of course it is. Of
Catch-Up
course it
Predator
is.
4 returns in a moment.
Our latest computer predator investigation is in full swing. All 11 of our hidden cameras are in place, and a suspected sex predator who approaches the house will be videotaped from the minute he pulls into the driveway
Run into his car.
until the sheriff's men spring into action.
Sheriff's office, let me see your hands.
Arrest him
You have the right to remain silent. You understand that right?
Yes.
and
Yes.
take him away in handcuffs.
Oh, did you even get
More
into
than
the
20
house?
Perverted Justice members are in Ohio and surrounding area chat rooms posing as 12 to 15-year-olds. They've set up profiles using pictures of young teens and posted personal information like age, sex, and location. Some of the profiles are on social networking websites like MySpace and TeenSpot.
He's in Cincinnati.
The decoys from Perverted Justice are waiting to be instant messaged by a potential predator.
Teen
In a
Spot
matter
is
of
just
seconds,
asking for a
men
problem.
start hitting on the decoys. This man, screen name Green-Eyed 121, even goes so far as to suggest phone sex. He found our 13-year-old decoy, Katie Did Sings, on MySpace.com. He types,
I have an idea, but it's a little weird.
Probably.
I did it with another girl, but I don't know if you want to. Call me up and let me listen to you as you yourself to orgasm.
The decoy quickly declines the offer, saying her dad wants her to get off the computer and come downstairs. Green-Eyed 121 doesn't seem to mind. After all, he's already made a date for sex with her in person. Katie Did Sings told him she would be home alone for the weekend.
I have good news. I can come over Friday and stay the night, too.
He's coming all the way back, all the way back. Going towards the front.
Green-Eyed 121 is scheduled to arrive at our undercover house around noon. Sure enough, here he is, right on time. Our hidden cameras are rolling.
Quiet, quiet, quiet.
He's 23-year-old Nathan Downhauer. He says he's a student at an evangelical university. And what does he plan to do with Katie Did Sings?
You
His
did?
chat log is quite explicit.
You already told us.
My hands will travel down your smooth body till we reach your pants. Here we will remove your pants and underwear, revealing your beautiful nude body.
And like so many of the other potential predators, his chat turns too X-rated for network television. And now he's in our living room.
Hey, Nathan?
Yep.
I just cut the crap out of my toe.
Same, it's always I cut the crap out of my toe.
Could you do me a favor and just go ahead and seat right on the outside of the bar, please?
He drove more than an hour to keep his date for sex with a girl he thought was 13 and home alone. But he says by the time he got to the door, he changed his mind.
Sure you did.
I don't know if I'd really be able to go through with it.
Sure you
But you
did.
walked in the door.
You
And
did.
as I read some of what he said online, he doesn't sound like a man who plans to back out.
You get into very graphic detail about what you want to do to her.
Fantasies dreamed up online are in your mind. Things you might not be able to willingly do when it comes down to it.
I will gently cup and massage your soft breasts, kiss them, and run my tongue along them. And it goes on from there, in graphic detail. What are we to make of this?
I'm not sure. I don't know what the law says about this.
Well, it's illegal.
Yeah.
Nothing has happened yet.
Well, I know. But it's illegal for someone to use the internet to solicit somebody who's 13 for sex.
That I was unaware of.
Sheriff's office, get on the
Of course you were.
right now. On the ground!
Later, you'll see Green
Of course
Eye
you were
121
unaware of it.
get
Fuck.
a quick lesson on the law from detectives waiting outside. But now, another stranger has just pulled in the driveway.
In the driveway, in our driveway. Back.
Online, he calls himself J10O72960. He's also been chatting with the decoy Katie Did Sings. Remember, her profile says she's only 13. He tells her he's a fireman. Then he gets worried she's a cop.
How do I know you're not a cop? Laugh out loud.
I'm not a cop. How do I prove it?
Call my cell and leave a sexy message.
She does. And then he wants to take it even further and moves on to the subject of phone sex. He asks, "You like hearing guys moan? I want you to call now and make me moan." Katie Did Sing says, "I will hear you when you get here." And there's something else. He seems to have a thing for feet.
Want me to rub your feet?
Yeah.
Now I'm getting turned on.
The man with the apparent foot fetish is really 21-year-old Jason Shopner.
Where you at? I gotta go get a Band-Aid before I bleed all over the rug.
See?
Oh, okay. Just
Hey,
that
why don't
little-
you hang out, have a seat right on the other side of the bar for me, will you? Keep your hands out of your pockets for me. Come on, just go over and have a seat, please. No, sir. Right here, please. What's going on? Why don't you tell me to get things started? Tell me what was happening.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I do, I'm sorry.
You're sorry for what?
I'm a freaking idiot.
And it turns out Jason really does work at a firehouse as a paramedic.
Now, in your chat here, you essentially say you're a firefighter.
Yeah.
Don't you
Was
think that might
a
impress
firefighter.
13-year-old girl?
Was.
Well, look, I'm sorry.
What was your plan here today?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I seriously don't know.
Well, it looks like you knew based upon this chat. Want me to rub your feet?
No,
Yeah.
no, okay, all right.
What would have happened if I had not been here?
I would have done something stupid.
Yep.
With a 13-year-old girl?
I don't know, probably.
If a 13-year-old girl had been here?
Yeah.
And you won't believe what else he admits.
Do you ever watch television?
Yeah.
You ever watch Dateline?
Dateline?
Dateline NBC? Have you ever seen our stories on computer predators?
Yeah, I've seen it.
This is one of them.
Oh, no.
So even after seeing our previous investigations, watching men being confronted and arrested, he wasn't discouraged from doing the very same thing. And as you'll see later,
I keep yawning. I've been at this for 7 hours.
You've seen this on TV before.
Not this
As
exact
this
episode, but like
continues, we hear
recording
something
and
we've
shit.
Never heard before.
7 hours.
Men talking about religion.
Bible. I have no one else to turn to but God.
I go to church every Sunday.
Yeah,
When
go
we
back.
come back, how far will these guys go? A 2-hour trip to meet an underage teen.
What makes a man get in a car and drive 2 hours?
Oh,
and
that guy
go
looks stunned.
To Catch a Predator 4 continues in a moment.
We're a small community. For the most part, everybody knows everybody.
Because we're in such a remote location, most of the men coming to our undercover house have to drive miles and miles over country roads. Some even cross state lines.
He's coming over here.
This 23-year-old drove from Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's about 103 miles, more than 2 hours away. He brought alcohol for someone he thinks is 13.
Did you bring the mics?
Yeah.
Cool, I'll be right back.
And this man pulling up to our house is from Reynoldsburg, Ohio, 112 miles away. He drove more than 2 hours to meet with someone who said she was an underage teen home alone. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Like all the other men who visit, he has no idea our hidden cameras are rolling.
Where are you at?
I have to go change out of my clothes, okay?
Okay.
Just sit at the bar for a second, okay? I'll be right back down.
It's a little late to be prowling around these parts, huh?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Why don't you have a seat right over here for me?
His name is Tim Isaac, screen name Park and Ride 469, 42-year-old training manager for a global transportation company. He's been chatting online this evening about having oral sex with a girl who said she was 15, Sadie the Smarty. He wants to know if the sex talk has made her aroused. Sadie the Smarty types, well, not yet. Talk doesn't do anything for me. Park and Ride types back, well, my tongue will.
Why would you
What
say
makes
that?
a man get in a car and drive 2 hours?
I don't know, just somebody wanted to meet me and I want to meet them, I guess.
At 2 o'clock in the morning?
Well, I didn't really want to, I wasn't looking for nothing.
You walk into a house.
Well, I wouldn't, I was kind of scared about it, to be honest with you.
Well, you walked in.
I'm not looking for, to like do anything or anything. I got boys that are 20 and 21, sir.
Sons?
Yes, sir.
What if one of your kids was home alone and some guy walked in the back door just all happy as heck to be here?
To be honest with you.
Have a seat.
To be honest with you, I
Have a
wouldn't like
seat.
it. Sorry, I'm just nervous.
What made you think it was okay at 42 years old to walk into a home at roughly 2:30 in the morning where a 15-year-old girl was apparently home alone?
Well, I wasn't for sure if she was 15 or not, to be honest.
Well, that's what she said on the internet.
Perhaps I can refresh his memory by reading some of his chat log.
You're only 15, a little young for this, aren't you? Yep, I'm 15, and no, I'm not. Okay. Are you still a virgin?
Why is that funny?
Question for an older man to ask a girl like that.
But baby, 15 can get me 20.
Yeah, it probably can. It probably will.
You ever do any time before?
Very little time for some DUI.
DUI?
Yeah. Nothing like this, sir. God, man.
So this guy's
You
an
ever done this
asshole.
sort of thing before?
No. This is the first time I ever done something like this.
First time.
That's the same claim we've heard from almost every man we've ever confronted. And most say they really weren't going to do anything sexual. Our sting in Ohio is no different. But one subject does come up for the first time. Religion.
This is first.
This is your first time.
Yeah, and I thought, I'm like, I
That's
shouldn't
not
do
for
it.
him. He's a
It's also
dickhead too, but that was for the last
against
guy.
my religion.
It's against your religion.
Mhm.
He's 27-year-old Davut Ozcan, screen name Nakzox, a graduate student from Turkey. He had a sexually charged online chat with a decoy posing as a 15-year-old.
Sakes,
You say at one point, I don't want to have any problem, you know. Kissing is okay.
Yeah.
But you also say, in the next breath, have you ever seen a blank, meaning penis?
Mhm.
I have on the internet, she says. Then you say, so do you want to see mine?
No.
It is not good.
No.
I should not do that.
You can play with my blank.
Yes. Please don't read. You can read yourself.
I mean, it sure seems like you knew what you were talking about here, and you knew what you wanted from this 15-year-old girl.
I don't want to have sex, but...
The 27-year-old admits he knew what he was doing was against the law.
If you're so religious, if you knew it was so wrong, why did you walk into this house?
I don't know.
And he wasn't the only one claiming to be religious. Here comes 20-year-old Josh Tuttle, screen name Goodbody.
You mean
1330.
Derek?
He's been chatting
Guy looks like
online with
Derek
someone
from
who
Sum
says
41.
She's 13 and a virgin. Jesse's messy.
Only
13.
Derek's not a
After she
dickhead.
tells him she has a big screen TV, he says, hee, that's great. So we can watch movies and cuddle, kiss and make out. Then head up to your bedroom and touch each other and have sex. Then he adds, we can get drunk if you want to. if it will make it feel that much better. And now here he is, walking in the door.
Just sit at the bar for a second, okay? I'll be right back down.
Oh,
Did you
like,
bring the rum?
No.
they'll say things that'll be like, that sound like a question. Like, I've noticed that trend. Like, have a seat at the bar. Okay. A lot of them do it. They'll put that little, huh? At the end of their fucking sentence. Sounds like a question.
I'll explain when you get down.
Oh my god, of course you will.
Well, why don't you explain it to me instead?
He says he didn't bring the rum because his brother drank it. Goodbody 1330 goes on to explain that making the decision to come here was a tough one. He says he went to his best friend, and believe it or not, says he also turned to the church for guidance.
I have low self-esteem, and I have no one else to turn to but God. So I went and I talked to my pastor.
And what did this pastor tell you?
It's wrong to do, and that you should have more faith in yourself.
But you're here, Josh.
To make new friends.
To make new friends.
Yes,
With a
sir.
13-year-old girl home alone.
Make new
He says
friends.
he only came here to watch movies and hang out, but his chat and something else tell a different story.
Did you bring condoms with you?
No, sir.
There's no condoms in your pocket.
I have one, but that's just...
Okay,
I
so that's
carry it
one lot.
everywhere.
I carry that with me all the time.
But you said you didn't bring any, and you did. So that's a lie.
Yes, sir. But I corrected myself. I'm sorry.
We'll hear more from Goodbody later. Now let's look at a truly unusual case. Here's a man who seems to be casing the house, afraid to pull in. After driving by several times, he finally makes his move and walks in the back door.
Hello?
Hold on, I want to take my coat off. I'm sweating to death after I was freezing.
Why don't you come on in and have a seat real quick? Okay.
Okay.
He's 33-year-old John France, a mechanical engineer. He's been chatting online with a decoy who says she's 14. Unlike all the men you've met so far, France, whose screen name is Net Buckeye, is very careful when it comes to talking about sex. When the decoy, Chicky Girl, asks, "Got any condoms?" he says, "What are those? Just kidding." Then he says, "No worries." She says, "Is that a yes?" And he replies, "Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything without a condom." But when I confront him, he says he has no interest in sex.
I'm confused, though. So if you don't have any interest in that sort of activity, why then chat up a 14-year-old girl and come to visit her?
I'm lonely. That is the bottom line.
Really?
Yes. Very lonely.
That's a
And
horrible
once again,
excuse.
this man also says he's religious.
Is there a church group or a saloon or?
There is.
I mean,
I go
think
to
there'd
church every Sunday, and it's like, and in fact, I'm going to a new church now because
Wow.
I'm not happy with my old one. But
So does this new church teach that it's okay to come over and visit 14-year-old girls who
I
are
would
home
say
alone
they
with
would
no
not,
parents?
They would not recommend that. No.
Then, France says something we've never heard before.
Can I have you read something?
Sure.
He tells us that out in his car, there's an envelope on the passenger seat. So Dell goes out to get it.
I was concerned for my safety, too. You have to
Oh,
understand.
you're
I
the
mean,
victim.
things
I
like
see.
That happen.
I
You show up
get
and
it.
Somebody beats you up or something like that?
Well, yeah.
You're
stuff
the
like that.
victim.
I mean, or worse. I mean, they could have taken my life for all I know.
He opens the note and starts to read.
At 8 p.m. tonight, I'm meeting a person whom I met online.
He goes on to say that the girl tried to lure him into talking about sex, which he politely declined, and that he's suspicious about her identity.
If she really is who she says she is, my intention is to befriend her and try to mentor her.
So could this man really be here just to mentor a troubled teen? Detective Burns says
No.
he's not buying this story.
Well,
No.
we refer to it at the office as an alibi letter.
Alibi letter. Okay.
It was composed in such a way that it's our belief that he put it there, that if he should get caught, made it appear that he was completely innocent.
And the detective says the way France cased our house does not make him look like a man on a rescue mission.
When you look at a vehicle that pulls up in front and stops, drives by, comes back, does the same thing again, if it is his intent that he's going to go in there and counsel with this girl, why would you struggle with that issue? I think we saw the battle from within as to whether or not he was going to get caught.
But because his case is so unusual, he doesn't get arrested.
At this time, we just want to talk to you.
Until after his interrogation.
Sheriff's office, get your hands up, get on the ground!
Why the fuck didn't they arrest
For all
him?
the other men, the detectives
Alibi
don't
letter my
hesitate
ass.
to take them into custody.
You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
What'll they say when we tell them they're about to be exposed on national TV?
I'm ashamed.
And if you
Should
put
be.
this on the air, I'll sue.
Coming up, the suspects walk out, the police move in. We'll take you inside the interrogation room.
That was the original plan.
This 13-year-old when he got.
Inside the interrogation room.
The whole plan was to have sex with this 13-year-old when he got here, correct?
That was the original plan.
When To Catch a Predator 4 continues.
Welcome back to Dateline, the
Wow,
Brightonville,
thank
Ohio
you.
home of national.
Oh, I understand.
And we're doing a story on adults going on the internet,
Right.
trying to hook up with
Right.
teens.
Right.
Now,
See the cameras coming in and everything.
Remember 40-year-old Alonzo Wade? He brought a case of alcohol to meet a person he thought was 15.
And all I want to do is party. You're trying to find a pedophile. I'm not.
but you're here.
Why do you keep saying pedophiler?
And maybe have sex with a teenager.
Why?
baby.
Why?
He decides he's
Why?
had enough, picks up his alcohol, and starts to leave.
And if you put this on the air, I'll sue.
Good luck.
Who are you, sir?
A few other men head for the door as soon as they find out
Sue.
who I am.
Get the fuck
But
out
even
of here.
here in Ohio, many of the men keep talking, even after they find out they're going to be on TV.
It's in the law's hands and God's hands.
You sound like a pretty religious guy.
Yes, sir.
You're free to leave, free to have your condom back.
Thank you.
I'm ashamed.
Okay.
Truly ashamed.
Okay.
And what about the men who've seen our previous investigations?
Do you ever watch Dateline NBC?
Yeah, and I've seen this on TV.
You've seen this on TV before.
Remember this 23-year-old man who drove across state lines and brought alcohol for a 13-year-old?
It's always
You've seen
Mike's
this on
Hard,
TV before.
whatever,
So you know
lemonade,
what's about
cranberry, whatever the fuck.
No.
This is the part where I say I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and the cameras come out.
Okay, I realized I made coming here was a mistake. Good thing that it didn't progress to nothing further.
It was a good thing that we were here and a 13-year-old girl was not.
Yeah.
So that's the
Well,
good news tonight.
But I don't know. I just apologize if I offended anybody.
You ever seen our stories on computer predators?
Yeah, I've seen it.
This is one of them.
Oh, no.
This is the 21-year-old paramedic with the apparent foot fetish who came to meet a 13-year-old.
So you've seen these stories before.
Yeah.
Didn't you for 1 minute think that this might have been something just like that?
No, because they don't have
But you came
logical
anyway.
thoughts.
It looks as if he doesn't want to leave. Since he's admitted seeing our earlier broadcasts, he probably knows what's going to happen next. Finally, after several requests...
Get out?
Sir, I'm going to have to ask that you go now.
Yeah. Get out,
He
please.
gets up and walks out the door. Right into the arms of the detectives from the Dark County Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff's office, let me see your hands. Put your hands up.
All along, Dell from Perverted Justice has been running across the street, giving the detectives chat logs of potential predators before they arrive.
We're able to look down through the chat logs and determine whether or not a crime had been committed. Once we knew for sure that somebody was coming, I was maintaining contact with Perverted Justice through radio means.
Here he comes.
So as the men leave, the deputies move in and arrest them
Sheriff's office, get on the ground. On the ground right now.
and charge them with attempted unlawful sexual conduct with a minor, a felony. In Ohio, in order for prosecutors to file the most serious charges, a police officer needs to be involved in the online chat or phone conversation.
Interesting.
Since in this case, Perverted Justice members are the decoys,
So are they there?
the Sheriff's Department temporarily deputized the
Oh,
PJ
okay.
volunteers who were in our house.
You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand
I was
that?
gonna say, like, are
After
they
they're read
there,
their
like,
rights,
watching this happen?
The men are taken to this
But that makes more
auxiliary
sense that they
building for an
deputize
official
them.
interview.
That would make a
Now
lot more
it's
sense.
the detective's turn to ask the questions.
Why did you come here in the first place?
To see a 13-year-old girl in that house.
What they've already told Dateline is eye-opening. Now wait until you hear what they revealed to detectives. Remember Green-Eyed 121, the 23-year-old who typed a detailed description about having sex with a 13-year-old? Remember, he's a student at an evangelical Christian college.
I couldn't stop thinking about it. What would happen if I got caught? I was caught.
Sheriff's deputies find a box of condoms in his car, but he tells the detective they just happened to be there.
Have you ever had sex before?
Yeah, they accidentally fell into
so
my
you have
car.
a box of condoms with you. You've never had sex before. The whole plan was to have sex with this 13-year-old when you got here, correct?
Yes.
That was the original plan.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
He insists he wasn't going to go through with it. Detectives also question the 42-year-old who showed up at 2 in the morning planning to meet a girl who told him she was 15.
I have to go change out of my clothes, okay?
Okay.
He tries to convince the detective he had no intention of having sex with a 15-year-old.
You would like me to believe that you just traveled 112 miles for a couple of hours.
Nothing.
Couple
You know
hours
what?
ride.
I would like you to believe that.
Just to visit a 15-year-old girl.
Yep.
Whose parents aren't home, and you want her to keep that a secret.
Yep.
Okay. And you still have me believe that, despite the fact I have
Confident, cocky, fucking prick.
Well, I'd like for you to think the better half of me, but you got what you got there, and doesn't look good on me.
It doesn't look good for this man either, the 21-year-old paramedic who has a thing for feet.
What did you and Kat discuss or plan specifically to do once you met her, knowing she was 13 years old?
Hang out.
Hang out? Nothing else?
I don't know. I guess sexual stuff. I guess.
Sexual stuff? Like what? You're talking about kissing and
Kiss,
what else?
rubber feet, stuff like that.
Rubber feet?
Yeah.
Once the interrogations are over, the men are taken to the county jail.
Not that there's anything wrong with feet or like rubbing feet or whatever. To each their own, but like.
Don't take.
Fingerprinted.
Give me your right hand.
Saying it to like a 13, 14, 15-year-old, saying anything like that is just fucked beyond belief.
18 months in prison.
Good.
Where are you?
But our story doesn't end there. The next man you'll meet has a dark secret.
Ow.
A secret that's about to come out.
My ankle cracked.
It's going to shock an entire community.
Oh my
Why
god.
don't you just tell me what you do for a living?
I'd rather not say.
Coming up, a potential predator asked to see his prey.
Where are you?
And he continues.
Year-old actress. We've hired her to play the role of a young teen who's posing as a 13-year-old virgin. It's actually Dell from Perverted Justice.
I like
on the
Dell.
computer. He's 26-year-old James Rutherford. Screen name.
She looks like somebody that wouldn't take shit from anybody. I like that.
With Princess.
Could be trusted. He was a good guy. He ended up getting on webcam.
And what does the 26-year-old do with his webcam? He starts
And
putting
she's
on
not
a show.
underage,
Takes
so
off his shirt, flexes his muscles,
chill
and
out.
shows off his pierced tongue. He tries to convince the decoy to do
I
a
think
bit
in
of a
this
show as
part
well.
she's-
Several times he asks the actress
I know they
to
said
show
it
him
last
her
episode.
stomach.
She's like
She finally
22.
agrees and he says, "Nice tummy, hun. I want to lick that." Then he says, "I owe you
She's
something
22
now, don't I?"
or
And then
23.
he starts pulling the boxers down. a
I
little
like
bit.
her
Doesn't
attitude.
go all the way down.
She's got a I'm
Remember,
gonna
he's
fucking kill
talking
you
to an
face, and
actress
I
who
am
he
okay
thinks
with
is
that.
13 as he watches her on a webcam. As the chat progresses and plans are made to meet, he types, "I'm so freaking horny. You know, if you had me naked, I'd want more, right?" But just before
See,
he gets
with-
in his car,
I like Dell because she looks like the kind of girl that if she was out like at a bar or out at a party or drinking or something with her friends and somebody came up to her and said any of this shit, like literally any of it, she looks like she would be the kind of person that's gonna punch you right in the fucking throat and then kick you in the face when you fall down. And I am okay with that. Like, she just looks like the girl at the bar that if you hit on her or say the wrong thing, she's gonna fucking punch you in the throat. And I like that. That's funny.
to come over, he calls.
I was really looking forward to it. That's not fair. I'm so bored here.
It appears the man is having second thoughts. Could it be that he's actually having a change of heart and is questioning his own behavior?
I was like, well, are you going to call if you're coming or if you're not coming? He's like, I'll call either way.
A few hours go by and we don't hear anything from
Oh,
Rutherford.
he just shows up?
We assume he's not coming.
Okay, gotcha. I'm familiar with that approach.
Until suddenly, someone spots
Yeah,
him
he
pulling
just
into the
shows up.
driveway. That's his red Corvette driving around to the back of the house. The decoy goes out to wave him
nice
in.
car.
The door's open.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm just going to go finish getting ready. I'll be right back.
Midlife crisis car, but it's a nice
I
car.
promise I'll be right back.
No, come here.
I'll be right
No,
there.
fuck
This
you.
is great. You gotta
Fuck
be a little
you.
patient.
Actually, I want you to come here.
That's what I thought.
Get him,
Rutherford says
Chris.
he had a feeling this was a setup. Still, there was no denying what he'd been up to.
Who did you think you were going to meet here?
Just this kid I've been talking to.
This kid.
I know she's a kid.
How old?
13, 14.
13. And how old are you?
Too old for 13, 14-year-old.
Too old.
But there's one thing he doesn't want to tell us.
What do you do for a living, Jim?
Let's hear.
Rather not say.
Yeah, nope.
Who do you work for?
Nope,
I'll
let's
get
hear.
to that in a minute.
No, I'd really like to know. I'm sure I'm on TV or something right now.
Apparently, the man has seen our investigations before and doesn't want to reveal what he does for a living on national TV.
Wait, firefighter,
so
pastor?
I ask him again.
Why don't you just tell me what you do for a living?
Teacher.
And what grade you
Oh.
Sixth grade.
Sixth grade. So you teach kids about the same age as the girl you were coming to see.
James Rutherford
It's always so
is a
much worse when
sixth-grade
it's the
teacher
teachers.
at a Catholic school in Cincinnati, where he also coaches track. He drove 2 hours to get here.
I would never do anything. I don't know why I'm here.
You were on your webcam, showing off in front of this 13-year-old girl.
I know.
And the conversation you had with this girl
It was bad. I know.
I don't care. That counts.
I don't know why. I need help.
Then the teacher offers this excuse.
I am going through a divorce. My wife Thursday told me she was leaving me.
Why would he think that's a valid excuse? I'm going through a divorce. Who cares? Doesn't give you the right to fuck a child. I fail to see what that has to do with anything.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it right for you to have this kind of a discussion.
And I shouldn't have.
The teacher admits he's chatted with underage kids before and was worried that it had become a problem for him, a serious problem that was getting worse.
I've thought about this a lot for years. Maybe I should just stop. Maybe I should get
Oh, you
counseling.
think?
Maybe I should get help. And I thought, well, it's not that big a deal. I've never taken it to this step.
It's not that big a deal. It's not that big.
I don't know if this week has just pushed me over the edge.
But fortunately, he's fallen over the edge into our undercover investigation instead of an encounter with a real child.
You ever watch Dateline NBC?
Oh, damn, I've seen one of these.
You've seen one of these?
Yeah. You know, that was what... One of the
Good,
reasons
you
I thought,
fucking dickhead.
Why am I doing this? This could be a setup.
Because
You've actually seen our previous programs on computer predators.
I didn't think I was a predator. I wasn't coming up here for anything physical.
That's a common excuse we've heard again and again, and this man knows it.
I know you've heard this. Hell, I've seen people sit here and say the same stuff.
You were suspicious. You had seen our previous stories. Probably got a chuckle out of what happened to some of these guys.
Yeah, and honestly, I sat there and watched and thought, those guys are sick. Why would you do that? And that was what, a month and a half ago? And then here I am.
But what about the young students he comes in contact with every day?
No, please tell me you're not a
teacher ever
teacher.
crossed that line? His online chat comes uncomfortably close.
I could be your teacher. Would you flirt with me? She says wink at you and stuff. Hee hee, okay.
I've never, ever crossed a line like that with a
Bullshit.
person when I was a student.
Fucking
Ever. Not even
bullshit.
thought about it. I guess maybe it was just like online, it was like they weren't real.
But I guess the question that some people might ask is this. If you eventually evolve to the point where you'd come here to meet a 13-year-old girl after this kind of a conversation, at what point do you suddenly become interested in kids in the school you teach?
Ryan, it's a legitimate question.
He talked to us for more than 40 minutes. Several times he asked, are the police outside? Am I going to get arrested?
Yep.
In fact, while he was inside, detectives from the Dark County Sheriff's Office had moved into place and were waiting to arrest him.
Well, Jim, I appreciate that. I'm sorry.
No, you're
Tell
not.
that kid I'm sorry too. All right. I will.
In the end, what started as a possible meeting with a child ends in an encounter with police,
Sheriff's Department, stop, put your hands on your head.
in which he confesses even more during interrogation.
I think you do have a problem.
Obviously.
And you've admitted that, okay? That you have talked to minors before, 13 years of age. Do you masturbate while you're doing this?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I have, yeah.
So you're so driven by this, okay?
But sir, and it's not like
Okay,
it's.
just listen to me,
Well,
man.
no,
Okay.
I think I feel like I should at least tell you. It's not like it's. I go on there specifically looking for little kids.
Tuck your head.
Regardless of his explanation, the teacher is transported, just like all the other men, to the county jail, where he's photographed,
Turn to your right.
fingerprinted, strip-searched, and thrown in jail. From his jail cell, he calls his employer.
He resigned that position yesterday in order
Good.
to spare his students, and
What happens to him next is in the court's hands.
bound to surround this case.
Coming up, a reality check for parents. What's your child doing online? We ask of our predator investigators.
Okay, is this...
Kids online should mean parents.
I think this is just a...
Overwhelming majority.
Yeah, I don't think this is anything.
Yes. More than 90 said.
Maybe.
9, 8 Central 4, and howto.com.
Okay, that's it. That's part 1 of the Greenville, Ohio investigation. These guys are all fucking crazy. All of them. Every single one. Fucking crazy. Not you, Stone, the fucking pedophiles. You're cool. But that's it. That's all. That is part 1 of Greenville, Ohio. I will be back this week with the part 2. I mean, like, part 2. I was going to say the conclusion of it, but there's only 2 parts. So I'll be back with the second part. That's it. That's all. Thanks for watching. Later.